English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today we'll do Hindu analysis of 17th July 2025, right? Today 17th. And good morning Liliana, good morning Anandu, Anuj, Rishiyar, good morning, and Malini, Mamta, everyone. So let's start the discussion. Let's not waste any time. And good morning everyone. So let's start. And let's start with yesterday's, like at the end yesterday, I gave you 2 questions and you have to answer them. And again, I saw one answer in the comment section yesterday, in yesterday's video. So I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of the MCQs which we'll discuss by 10:30 a.m. today in this Telegram channel of mine. Fun study with Shub, because study should be fun. So let's move on to, first of all, yesterday's question. These 2 questions, MCQ 11 and 12, were homework for you people. You have to answer those questions. Cool. So, yes, this was the question. Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 was originally enacted as Untouchability Offences Act. This was the last article of yesterday's Hindu analysis, right? We're talking about untouchability, Article 17, and that is implemented through Untouchability Offences Act 1955, which was renamed as PCA Act or PCR Act, Protection of Civil Rights Act, in 1976, not 1992. So second is wrong. If you eliminate second, you are getting the answer, that is A1 and 3 only. Cool. So MCQ 12, which of the following is not a function mandated under PCR Act for states and UTs? Now this is one question which most of you got it wrong yesterday. Good morning Kirtana, Rajneesh, Shiparna, Liliana, Lo-Fi. So again, not a function mandated under PCI. Protection of Civil Rights Act, it is about untouchability, abolition of untouchability, implementation of Article 17 of Constitution. It is not about reservation of seats in local bodies for SCs. For that you have, SC/ST commissions. For that you have, I think, Article 243 or something. So this is wrong. Reservation of seats in local bodies, Untouchability Offences Act, Protection of Civil Rights Act, they don't have anything to do with it. And yesterday, somebody who answered in the comment section, yesterday Hindu analysis, she answered it correctly. So, good morning Kaizen. So, let's start with today's discussion. MCQ 11, A is the answer. MCQ 12, D is the answer. For people who who is watching this Hindu analysis for the first time, you can watch previous Hindu analysis. You will understand what we are discussing here. Let's start today's Hindu analysis with the editorial. Like again, they are good editorials and there will be certain keywords here. Page 6 editorial written by Bala Subramanian Govindasamy. Sir, he is, he is talking about the earthquake occurrences which is happening and which happened in Delhi and how prepared we are. Now, this whole editorial will lead to discussion about different terms like epicenter, hypocenter, retrofitting. What are these terms? What is the basic meaning of these terms? And then how prepared we are. How many seismic zones we have? Zone 2 to 5. There is no zone 1. Where does Delhi lie? And zone 5 is more, most seismically prone region, or zone 2. So there are so many questions which will be answered by this editorial. Very important editorial. So again, recent earthquake happened in Delhi, July 10, 2025. Many people were like, good morning, my Kannada friend. So many people were like, oh my God, earthquake happened. I was like, earthquake happened? I'm in Gurgaon, NCR. I did not feel it. 4.4 tremor, epicenter 20 kilometers. Now the keywords, epicenter and hypocenter. What is the basic difference between epicenter and hypocenter? These are the words which are important from exam perspective. So again, if you know it, post it in the comment section. So what is a hypocenter? Let's say this is your Earth's surface. So this is Earth's surface. And below this Earth's surface, there is a point where the earthquake originated. So this is the point, origin of earthquake. This is the origin point. So this is your hypocenter. So the point below the Earth's surface where the earthquake originated. Hypocenter, and the point which is just exactly above on the Earth's surface, this is epicenter. So please remember these words, they are very important from exam perspective. What is hypocenter? What is epicenter? Epicenter is on the Earth's surface. Hypocenter is the point of origin of earthquake below the Earth's surface. So again, he's saying that no major damage happened, but damage could happen. There is a very high probability that a very high, scale earthquake will happen in Indian subcontinent because the atmosphere is building up to it. There is too much. Again, you will understand where we are going with this. Are we ready for this? Currently, no. 80% of Delhi buildings don't comply with seismic safety codes. So sometimes I used to go to Lakshmi Nagar, Yamuna Bank in Delhi. So there, the houses are like, like different houses love each other. They don't want to leave even 1 millimeter between houses. They are all sticking to each other. Like, no, we will not even give you 1 inch of our land. So those kind of buildings, they are not, you can see here, they are not complying with the safety standard. So what is the solution? The solution are certain words like retrofitting we have discussed. What is retrofitting? What are different types of retrofitting measures? Now this whole editorial, if you go back again, important from GS3 disaster management, important from GS mains paper 1 urbanization, GS mains paper 3 disaster management. So please pay attention here. Then again, so major events happened, Myanmar and Thailand earthquake, tremors in Tibet, reflects growing regional tectonic unrest. So we should be ready about it, you know. We should not be crying, oh my God, after this thing happened. So again, these small earthquake in Delhi region is it's telling you the things which is about to come. Okay, sir. So India's seismic vulnerability located on the active Indian Eurasian plate, and again it is said that from a very large period or like time there has not been a major earthquake. So again, things are building up, and again we should be ready about it. High risk of a major great Himalayan earthquake, magnitude 8 plus. Oh my God. Please don't be in my lifetime. Potentially affects 300 million plus people. Again, you can see here, Delhi lies in seismic zone 4. So as we have discussed, what are the keywords which we have discussed up until now? Epicenter, hypocenter. Seismic zone 2 to 5. So you have seismic zone 2 to 5. There is no seismic zone 1 in India. Delhi lies in 4. So the closer you are to 5, the more chances of a bigger earthquake in your region. Northeastern states, many of the northeastern states lie in seismic zone 5, but not only confined to northeastern states. Even Kutch region in Gujarat, that lies in seismic zone 5. Bhuj, remember Bhuj earthquake? So we don't want a repeat of Bhuj earthquake, and that's why we have to be very, very proactive in this regard. Good morning, Anil. Good morning, UIZ. So nationwide seismic zone and risk 2 to 5. Remember, there is no seismic zone 1. Delhi is in seismic zone 4. Zone 5, very high risk. Northeast, Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, Andaman and Nicobar. Kutch region in Gujarat, which included Bhuj earthquake. Okay, so urgent need. What are the things which we need to do? Delhi need to do. Guwahati need to do. Bhuj need to do. So Delhi, retrofitting or older buildings. Now these are the words, again I'm reiterating: epicenter, hypocenter, retrofitting, steel jacketing. What are these words? When you talk about haphazard urbanization, you know, the solutions are this. When you're talking about disaster resilient infrastructure, the solutions are these. So you have to use this in your mains answer. Retrofitting older building means you cannot, just do away with the older buildings. So you will try to do some stuff, make some stuff to make the older building safer for like when it comes to earthquake, etc. Let me show you one example of steel jacketing. So this is a building which is steel jacketed. So what is happening here? So they have their own columns, etc. Now above their own column, there is another column of steel which is giving more strength to this older building. So this is steel jacketing, which is one form of retrofitting. So please remember these words, they are important. Steel jacketing, retrofitting, accelerated DDA compliance. So Delhi Development Authority, they have to check like whatever compliance they are asking for new buildings, whether they are adhering to those codes or not. In Guwahati, where, Brahmaputra floodplain, the region near the Brahmaputra river, people should avoid building structures there. That's what the author of this editorial is saying. Bhuj, expand retrofitting. Please remember, please, just remember this word, retrofitting. Keep it in your mind. You will talk about this in disaster management a lot, this particular word retrofitting, and steel jacketing is one example of retrofitting which we have just seen. So these words should be in your mind whenever we talk about disaster resilient infrastructure. Even in GS mains paper 1, urbanization, you can talk about it. India needs 50,000 crore annually for retrofitting tailored to regional soil geological condition. The retrofitting which will apply in Bhuj, that will not be the same retrofitting which will be applying in Delhi because of the different terrain they have. So that we have to take into account, and we need a lot of money. Cool, sir. Kolkata, I think in zone 3. Do have a look at it. Zone 3, zone 4, Shriparna. So yes, this is steel jacketing, one form of retrofitting. Call for national action. Again, government must enforce seismic codes. You can read all these things. Citizens should know about safe building norms, in which particular zone they lie, what is their safe building code, how will they do the retrofitting, whether steel jacketing apply in their area or not, or something else they have to do when it comes to retrofitting. Bhuj and Nepal, we don't want a repeat of that. Even if that happens, Japan is a very prominent example how we should build earthquake resilient infrastructure. Every year they witness one disaster, multiple disaster every year. But They are awesome. Okay. So Delhi's recent tremor is a warning bell. India must transition from seismic vulnerability to resilience. Again, you read this. A national disaster, dialogue and coordinated action are urgently needed. In that regard, NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change, around 2008-2009, 8 missions comes under it. Remember those 8 missions? You can use any of these 8 missions, like very high probability you can use it in your mains answer. If you have read from me earlier, you know the mnemonic to remember these 8 missions. Good morning, Pujari Mahalinga, Pujari ji. So 8 missions, Sehwag HK. This is the mnemonic to remember those 8 missions of NAPCC. And which of these 8 missions deals with this particular editorial, you will understand. So Sehwag HK, in our time, there used to be a cricketer, Virendra Sehwag. So, Sehwag, solar energy, solar mission. E is National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. H is for our editorial, National Mission for Sustainable Habitat. So you can even talk about when these kind of topics comes, earthquake prone region, retrofitting, steel jacketing, you can talk about this mission, National Mission for Sustainable Habitat. W is Water Mission, A is National Mission for Agriculture, G is Green India Mission, H is National Mission for Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem. Now this also you can talk about when you are talking about earthquake resilient infrastructure, because we know the things which will be happening in Himalaya, that will be the region for a bigger earthquake in our region. So again, Himalayan ecosystem, how we can conserve it, how we cannot put too much, like pressure on their ecological carrying capacity in the region around Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, etc., etc. So sustainable habitat, Himalayan ecosystem, that you have to talk on. And then K is National Mission for Strategic Knowledge on Climate Change. Even K you can use. So sustainable habitat, Himalayan ecosystem, and National Mission for Strategic Knowledge on Climate Change. Remember these missions, they are actually important. Jagannath. Good morning, Manvi. Cool. So now let's solve some question. In earthquake terminology, which of the following correctly defines the hypocenter? Hypocenter, point on Earth's surface. Hypocenter, epicenter. We have discussed this. So Swastika, Kharbadon, Anuj, Liliana. Good morning, Jagannath. Abhay, Anandu, Madhubala, Shudipta, Das. Shiparna, Shri Durga. Cool. So, Rishi, yaar. So, epicenter, hypocenter. Hypocenter is the point where earthquake originated. Epicenter is the point on the Earth's surface, directly above the hypocenter. So, point on Earth's surface, this is epicenter. This is not hypocenter, the first one. The second one, point inside the Earth where the seismic eruption rupture actually starts, that is your hypocenter. So, B is the answer. B. MCQ 2, the difference between the epicenter and the hypocenter lies in. Very good, Shri Durga, Rajneesh, Malini, Mamta, Athira. Athira is a very futuristic kind of a name. Athira reminds me of Dhivara. In our time, there used to be a movie which was known as Bahubali. In that Bahubali, there was a song, Dhivara. I never liked the dubbed version. If there is a song in Telugu, let's say Bahubali is in Telugu, watch it in Telugu, It feels very odd, Prabhas speaking Hindi. And so, I don't like the dubbed version. I watch, because I don't understand Telugu apart from Nenu Nenu Premustu Nanu and Chepandis Chepu Telusu Ledu Kadu. So, I watch with English subtitles, but it's very odd when you hear, the English or the Hindi dubbed version and everything. So the answer is the difference between epicenter and hypocenter lies in location above versus below ground. A is the answer. Although there is an exception to what I just told you, the dub thing. In Bahubali only there is a song, Manohari. Manohari song in Telugu as well as Hindi version. Awesome. So the answer is location above and below. So where were we? You people distract me so much. So Sriparna, Anuj, Durga, Madhubala, Mamta, Rishi, Abhay, Amit, Liliana, Anandu, Jagannath, and so many more. Divya Bharti. In our time, there used to be an actress. Very good. All of you, most of you are correct. MCQ 3. In earthquake engineering, retrofitting refers to. What is retrofitting? Cheppandis. Building new earthquake resistant cities, replacing unreinforced masonry with steel beams, strengthening older existing structure to resist future earthquakes, adding aesthetic features to old buildings. So Anandu, Swastika, Anuj, my God. Kharbadun, Durga, Rishi, Mamta, Liliana, Thira, Shriparna, Abhay, Madhubala, Malini, Jagannath, Rajneesh and others. So retrofitting is strengthening older existing structure to resist future earthquake as stated by all of you. Very good here, Rajneesh, Anil. Let's move on to the next article of the day on page number 1. Government merges 36 schemes to float farm program. So again, a new scheme for you people. Happy. Like, there was a time around 2014-15 when there were memes which used to be made. Oh my God, like, Modi sir has woken up in the morning and he's like, what should I do today? Aaj kuch tufani karte hain. Let's do something revolutionary. One more scheme. Now, this is actually good because it is subsuming, you can see here, 36 schemes from around 11 different ministries. So, and then a single scheme is coming. So, think it this way that you don't have to remember about 36 scheme. Only one will do. Oh my God, Modi ji is working towards like the welfare of UPSC aspirants, that we shouldn't be reading too many schemes. So this is the new scheme, PM Dhanya Krishi Yojana. My South Indian friends can have issue that, sir, why are these schemes mostly, like Hindi nomenclature? Why don't we have an English version of it? We have to deal with it. So PM Dhanya Krishi Yojana, what is the basic aim of it? To improve agricultural productivity, to improve crop diversification. All these are the basic objective. And we don't want 36 schemes. Our Honorable PM sir doesn't want 36 schemes. He just wants to subsume these schemes. And as we have discussed, there are like 2-3 major aims. The most important aim is we want to improve agricultural productivity. Because when you talk about agricultural productivity of India, it is one of the lowest in the world because of, small and fragmented land holdings. So in our, slowly and gradually, India is moving towards nuclear family. Even in villages where you see the concept of joint family, that is getting broken apart, nuclear family. So when nuclear family emerges, you want division of your land. Let's say your father had 5 sons, you will divide the land among those people. So the land will become very small. That is, you are not getting enough productivity. Rather than imagine a scenario when the 5 sons were working together on a bigger land holding, then the productivity would have been larger. So to ensure all these things, to ensure improved agricultural productivity, to ensure consolidation of land holdings, to ensure improved agricultural credit for different categories of farmer, be it small farmer, marginal farmer. What is the basic definition of small and marginal farmer? So there are again so many keywords which are very important from exam perspective in this particular article and scheme. So scheme name, Pradhan Mantri Dhanya Dhanya Krishi Yojana, PM DDKY, to enhance agriculture productivity, promote sustainable agricultural practices. So here also, in the previous editorial, first article, we have talked about NAPCC. There was a mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture also. That also you can use. That PM Dhanya Dhanya Yojana, this PMDDKY is promoting National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Announced. Now these are the things which are important from every exam perspective. When was it announced? Union budget 25-26. They gave the approval now, and annual outlay 24,000 crore per year. These are factual information. We'll go into the intricacies. There are certain keywords here. Net sown area versus gross sown area. What is the basic difference between net sown area and gross sown area? So there are terms which we have to understand. Total duration 6 years. Beneficiaries expected to benefit not 1, not 2, not 3, 1.7 crore farmers. Oh my God. Cool. Structural changes you can see here. 36 existing schemes from 11 ministries have been merged to cater to the needs of UPSC aspirants so that they don't have to remember all these schemes. Now only one will do. PMDDKY. Okay, implementation model, again you can read all these things. Target areas, 100 districts. They can always change the number. 500 districts, 1000 districts, 600 districts. No, 100 districts based on low productivity, low cropping intensity, low credit disbursement. They will be chosen. Now, important points. One district from each state. UT, Now see this point, net cropped area and operational holdings. Now these are the words which you have to understand. You won't believe me, but 90% of the student, 95% of the student, they never try to understand the basic meaning, they just try to mug it up. Let's try to understand it. So net cropped area means what? So let's say I have 4 hectares of land. I have 4 hectares of land and I'm growing one crop on it. So my net shown area is 4 hectares. Now let's say I have 4 hectares of land. In this case, I'm growing one crop and my net sown area is 4 hectares. Let's say I have 4 hectares again, but I'm growing 2 crops. In Kharif season, I'm growing rice, and in Rabi season, I'm growing wheat. Yesterday, I have told you the mnemonic to remember Kharif and Rabi crops. We have solved UPSC PYQs on it, so do revise it. Kobama ki tujori, vi bagra. So rice and wheat. In this scenario, what will happen? My net cropped area, NCA, will remain 4 only. But my gross cropped area, GCA, will become 8 because I'm growing 2 crops. In the first scenario, when I had 4 hectares, I was growing one crop. My NCA is also 4. My GCA is also 4. Please understand this. This is important. Multiple questions in factual form, they will be asked to you. So if you have 4 hectares of land, you're growing one crop. Your net cropped area is 4. Gross cropped area is also 4. But if you have 4 hectares of land, you're growing 2 crops, rice and wheat. Then your net cropped area is still 4. But your gross cropped area is 8 because you're growing twice. And again, if you grow 3 times, it will be 12. So gross cropped area keeps on increasing. Did you people understand it? Jagannath, Sudipta, Anil, UIZ, Madhubala, Malini, Abhay and others. The difference between net cropped area and gross cropped area. Again, the second part is operational land holdings. What is the meaning of operational land holdings? So operational land holding means land under cultivation. Doesn't matter that land is owned by me or I have taken it on leash. If the land is under cultivation and let's say I have 1 hectare land which is owned by me, 3 hectare land which is I have taken on lease and I'm doing cultivation on all of them. So my operational land holding is 4. But let's say the same scenario, I have 1 hectare of land on my own. I have leased 3 hectare of land, but I am doing cultivation on only 2 hectares. Then my operational land holding will be 2. So it all depends upon cultivation. Doesn't matter whether it is owned, leased or managed. You will understand, we'll solve some questions based on it. Very good. It's per year. It's per year, Madhubala. So now we'll solve some questions. You will understand the basic difference between net cropped area, gross cropped area, operational holdings. Key components of the scheme, post-harvest infrastructure. See, in GS Mains paper 3, you read about something known as food processing. GS Mains paper 3, food processing. There we talk about forward and backward linkages. There we talk about cold chains. Lots of food gets wasted in our country. There was a former food processing minister, Harsimrat Kaur Badal ma'am. She used to say that India is one of the largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world, fruits and vegetables. But the problem lies in the food wastage which we have because we don't have enough cold chains. We don't have enough, cold storage to preserve these things. So to cater to that particular requirement, we have this post-harvest infrastructure stored at panchayat and block levels where there will be, fridge and cold storage, etc. Irrigation, credit access, all these things. Crop diversification. This is very much important. You have to take some example. Like there is a region in our country which is known as Marathwada. So Marathwada is one of the drought-prone areas in our country, but people in that region, they grow sugarcane, which is a very water-intensive crop. Why? Because in sugarcane, they get FRP, fair and remunerative price. All these things is leading to more and more water scarcity in that particular region. So we need crop diversification. We have to make these people aware. Our government has to take more initiative, and that's why this PMDDKY. Storage capacity deficit, very good. Natural and organic farming, Sikkim, first state in our country, totally adopted organic farming, soil and water. You can read these things. Committees will be set up at different levels. District plan will be done. Stakeholders will. Progressive farmers. Who is a progressive farmer? No. One thing I forgot to tell you, when we were talking about these net cropped area and operational holdings, do remember, based on this operational holdings, there are different categories of farmer. Small farmer, marginal farmer, and then the big farmers. Small farmers, their operational holdings is less than 1 hectare. And then the marginal farmers, marginal small. So marginal farmers less than 1 hectare, small farmer 1 to 2 hectares. Now according to, do check that out, 1 hectare and 1 to 2 hectare. According to agriculture census, around 86% of farmers in our country, they are small and marginal. That means these small and marginal people, they have less than 2 hectares of land And 86% of farmer means out of 100 farmers, 86 farmers in India belong to small and marginal category. That is a very big number. That shows the vulnerability of Indian agriculture, and that is also one of the reasons why Indian agriculture is not taxed right now. Many people are like, why they are not taxed, why rich farmers are not taxed. This is the reason. Rich farmers are not that large in number. Mainly small and marginal farmers, they are dominating India's agricultural market. Cool. It's happening Punjab, Haryana regarding groundwater. Exactly, Shiparna. Good morning, Oja ji. Cool. So let's focus on the topics which we're discussing then. So now let's solve some questions based on what we have read. A farmer cultivates 4 hectares of land twice in a year. What will be the net cropped area and gross cropped area? Mainly in Gangetic region farmers, that's why they suffer more. Yes, absolutely. Very good. There was a movie in our time, Salam Namaste, where the girl used to say sorry, the guy used to say absolutely or exactly, something like that. Awesome movie. Saif Ali Khan, Preeti Zinta. So a farmer cultivates 4 hectares of land twice in a year. What will be the net cropped area and gross cropped area? Don't worry, everything you will understand, my Kannada friend. So Abhay, Liliana, Durga, Anandu, Madhubala, Jagannath, UIZ, Rishi, Athira, Mamta, Akash. So here 4 hectares of land twice in a year. That means the gross cropped area will become 8. So first of all, let's see where is 8. So these two gone, gross cropped 8. Now this is 4 hectares of land, so it will always remain 4 in the net cropped area category. So 4 hectares net cropped area, 8 hectares gross cropped area. The answer is D. Very good. All of you almost answered it correctly. Jagannath, Rishi, Rajneesh, Shiparna, Mamta, Mansi, Jagannath and others. MCQ 5. Which of the following correctly defines an operational holding? Chepandis. And yes, sir, if you feel like I'm adding anything to your knowledge base, please like, share and subscribe. Currently, I'm seeing 51 watching, 21 likes, 30 people. Why? I have to wake up 3:45 a.m. every day in the morning to do this thing. My whole night's sleep is gone. Every day I have fights with someone or the other. Okay. So please, sir, I know you people are also working hard, but yes, we are also working hard. Show that love and affection. So the answer is defines an operational holding. What is an operational holding? Total land used for cultivation, whether owned, leased or managed. We'll solve one numerical on this as well. The answer is C. Now where is the answer? Chepandis. Oh my God. Just give me a second. So most of you have answered C. I think there will be a day when I will not be able to name all of you. The way the number of people are increasing, and that's good. You people love me, that shows. Athira, Swastika, Liliana, Anuj, Rishi, Jagannath, Shiparna, again, all of you, most of you have answered it. Abhay and Durga and everything. Cool. So the answer is C. We'll solve one maths question also later on. Page number 18, Science 2. CERN Collider reveals major clue to universe bias against antimatter. Oh my God. Science articles, nobody takes it. I take it almost every day now because these articles are awesome. If you understand the basic concept related to it, you will love it. So now let's try to understand. So there are two things. When Big Bang happened, Big Bang was a period when, our universe was created, Big Bang. There is also a show, The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper. So when Big Bang happened, the theory is, most of the physics theory, they say that 2 things were created in equal number. What were those 2 things? Matter and antimatter. So they has to be equal in number. So when Big Bang happened, our universe was created and 2 things were created at the same time, matter and antimatter. Now what is an antimatter or what is a antimatter? So let's say I am Shubham. So there will be an anti-Shubham. Let's say I have a positive charge. So anti-Shubham will have negative charge. When a Shubham and anti-Shubham will come and hug each other, there will be annihilation. Both will be gone and there will be only energy left. So that is a basic concept of matter and antimatter. So let's say you have an electron, which is a matter, then you will have an antimatter, that is positron. If you have a proton, which is a matter, then you have an antimatter of proton, which will be antiproton. The basic thing is they both have the same mass. Shubham and anti-Shubham, or Mansi or anti-Mansi, they both will have the same mass, but their charge will be different. If let's say I am happy, that anti-Shubham will be sad. If I'm positive, she will be negative, or he will be negative. Why should I say he? Anti-Shubham will be C. In that way, hugging will be much better. Oh my God. So matter and antimatter ideally should have been equal, but that is not the scenario. Matter is much more. And you can also take it like this. There has been apple, there has been anti-apple. Ideally, they should have been equal and they should have crossed each other out, but that has not happened. Some of the apples remained, anti-apples have gone, and these apples have created everything you are seeing in the universe, the visible universe. All the stars, planets, us, Mansi, Rishi, Vitthal, Anuj, everyone. Whomsoever you are seeing, all of us are made of matter. The remaining apples and anti-apples, they are not equal. Some apples remain, and these apples have created us. Oh my God. Okay, so now CERN, which is, one of the largest particle detector or experiment which happens in Switzerland. We'll talk about CERN. So what they do is they bring different matters and they bring proton at the speed of light. You will understand each and everything. We are not going into the intricacies of this article. I'm just telling you the basic gist of this article and then the keywords which are asked by UPSC. So generally what happens, they take proton, they bring them to the speed of light and then they collide these proton. That's what CERN do. So when these proton collide at the speed of light, some elementary particles are like they come out of it. These elementary particles are those particles which actually created universe. So by studying these elementary particles, CERN is trying to understand about our universe, what happens and how things has happened in the past. So please understand this thing. This thing is telling you, this antimatter thing is telling you there are so many things in this universe which we don't know yet. So don't be too arrogant, this and that. Maybe there is ghost somewhere around here. People are like, I don't believe in ghost. Maybe the ghost is antimatter, who knows? So these things are very, where were we? Cool, you people are happy, I'm happy. So let's focus on this article now. So matter, antimatter, asymmetry. The universe is made mostly of matter. Everything visible you're seeing, they are made of matter. Although both matter and antimatter should have been created in equal amount after the Big Bang theory. So the normal physics law fails when it comes to antimatter and physics is not able to understand and explain why are we not seeing antimatter? Where have the antimatter gone? Where is this residue matter is coming from? Like why matter exceeds antimatter. So why is antimatter important? In theory, Big Bang should have produced equal amount of matter and antimatter, but today we see only matter. Almost no antimatter exists in the universe. Why? This mystery is one of the biggest unsolved problem in physics. CERN is trying to understand, the particle accelerator is trying to understand these, elementary particles, and why are these elementary particles, even the antimatter will be made of these particles, we'll be trying to understand, or we are trying to understand about antimatter. So what has happened in this particular, if you go back to this news, they have taken one antimatter, means elementary particle, they have done research related to matter and antimatter. Again, they have seen more matter than antimatter in that particle, and they are not trying, like they are not able to understand why. And the physicists are like the particle physicist, and they are also called as astrophysicist, which is, any of you have seen this series, The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper? So people like Sheldon Cooper are involved here in doing this research, but we still have a lot of unanswered questions. Let's see what happens. I love it so much. These kind of things, I love it so much because it's so interesting. God particle. Yeah. So every particle of matter has a corresponding anti-particle with same mass but opposite charge. Oh my God, Rishi. So again, let's focus on the things at hand. So this mystery again. What is Large Hadron Collider? It's the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator. So it's studying about elementary particles. I've told you how do they study. Bring together proton at the speed of light, collide them, elementary particles emerges out of it, and then they study. Higgs boson, which is the God particle according to Sriparna Bishwas, that emerged out of that particular experiment. UPSC has asked questions on Higgs boson. So this Large Hadron Collider built by CERN, European organization, which is located, and again, it is located near Geneva, Switzerland, on the border between Switzerland and France, as was stated by Bishwas. Bishwas is such a good girl. So what does it do? We are talking about Large Hadron Collider. So it speeds up particles like protons to almost the speed of light, then they crashes into each other at extremely high energy. Elementary particles are formed and then they study it. Oh my God. Okay. Let's solve some questions. Then you will understand these things. So the basic gist of that article was, again, new and new experiments are happening. Matter is exceeding antimatter. Theoretically, physics law-wise, it should not happen, but it is happening. We still don't know why. Experiments goes on. So now this is a question based on the previous article related to operational holdings. I can try, Mamta. You can join any of our batches, Mamta. That will help you. You will get the mentors, They will help you. 26, 27 or 20. I'm just saying, I'm not promoting my batch. That I will do at the end. Oh my God. And whenever any of you are buying my batch, please use code SHS Live. That will help me financially, Money is important. So again, here, what A, C and B, if you're facing issues, this is A, this is B, and take it as C. So again, here we are talking about operational holding. Operational holding is all about the area under cultivation. Doesn't matter whether it is owned, leased or managed. I will tell you the basic rationale how Hindu analysis happens for me. So if you go to website, they publish Hindu at 5 a.m. Why do I wake up so early at 3:45? And I think on phone you can get it at 4 a.m. So I wake up at 3:45, I prepare my PPT and everything, and then 5 a.m. when the article, like newspaper comes, from 5 a.m. till 8:30 I am seated. Like I don't leave that seat. And then it's a very tough, it's not an easy job like this Hindu analysis thing. It's takes a lot out of you. Once I'm done with Hindu analysis, I have no energy. Absolutely zero energy. Zero. And that's why I'm telling you, spread this word, because again, hope you're understanding. So let's focus on the operational holding part. A farmer owns 1 hectare and leases in 2 hectares. And he's doing owns 1 hectare, leases 2 hectares. A farmer owns 2 hectares but cultivates only 1 hectare. Okay, let me make this statements much more clearer. And okay, and farmer leases in 4 hectares and cultivates all. So it's operational holding is all about cultivation. So C has to be there, right? C is there in all of them, so it doesn't serve the purpose. Farmer owns 2 hectares but cultivates only 1 hectare. In this case, his operational land holding is only 1 hectare. So B is gone. If B is gone, you are gone, and B and D are eliminated. This is a tricky question. Farmer owns 1 hectare and leases 2 hectares. I should have added here leases 2 hectares for cultivation, and he is doing cultivation in all. For cultivation in all. So if I have added that, then he has operational land holding of 3 hectares. So they are asking 3 hectares or more. Then the answer is A and C only. So again, a tricky question, not an easy question at all. So people who have given C answer, you are also correct in your own way, because I have not explicitly written here. He owns 1 hectare, he leases 2 hectares, and he's doing cultivation in all. I should have added that word. So A and C. So not many people answered this question because this was a tricky question. Okay, Chepandis. Let's move on to MCQ 7. With reference to antimatter, consider the following statements. Antimatter particles have the same mass but opposite charge as their matter counterparts. Have a look at this. When antimatter comes into contact with matter, both annihilate and release energy. Antimatter is commonly found in the observable universe in equal amounts as matter. They both were like psychos, Abhishek, Sheldon Cooper and Emmy. So with reference to antimatter particles, but again, if you're too intelligent, you have to be a psycho in some way or the other. That I have realized. Antimatter particles have same mass but opposite charge as their matter counterparts. That is correct. Electron, positron, proton, antiproton. So one is correct. If one is correct, eliminate B option. When antimatter comes into contact with matter, both annihilate and release. In our time, there used to be a movie called Raz. Dino Moria, Bipasha Basu, they were the actresses. So there was another girl who was a bhoot, ghost. She used to say to Dino Moria, मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा, that I will annihilate you. So that way you can remember stuff. Raz, that ghost wanted to annihilate Dino Moria. Same thing happens when antimatter and matter comes together. They annihilate each other. Then there will be some people like, मैं बर्बाद होना चाहता हूँ. I want to be annihilated. Again, let's not go there. So second is also correct. Antimatter is commonly found in the observable universe in equal amount. No, they are not. That is the theory. That is the thing which people are pondering about. Physicists are pondering about. So third is wrong. A is the answer. And Madhubala, Liliana, Mamta, Rishi, Shiparna. Oh, 7th. Not many people answered this. Or you people answered it, but you did not say 7. Example of their interaction can be found at magnetas and pulsars. Very good. Okay, cool. So did you people understand this? The answer is A, 7th A. MCQ 8. Consider the following statement about the Large Hadron Collider. I can try, Mamta, but I already tell you which kind of questions can be framed, So based on that, you can prepare. Like, let's say we are talking about matter and antimatter. You can make one question or ask anyone to make one particular question on these antimatter, Large Hadron Collider, and then accordingly you can answer. So I anyway tell you, like yesterday means today we are talking about earthquake resilient infrastructure. Make one mains question on it and answer it and prepare on it. I keep on telling you how it will help you. So we can do that. We can do that. So yes, sir, Large Hadron Collider, largest particle accelerator. I'm not getting any answers. Answers I need. It is located entirely above ground for easy access and maintenance. It was built by CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. One thing which I did not tell you, and again, if you're not getting the answer here, it's totally fine. Good morning, Priya. Is that it is not located entirely above ground. It is below ground, You need to have it below ground because there are certain operational requirements. It's doing something exceptional, bringing together particles almost at the speed of light. And so yeah, it's not located entirely above ground. Second is wrong. If second is wrong, the answer is B, 1 and 3 only, as stated by Meena, Akash, Meena, Rishi, Athira, Madhubala, Anandu, Priya, Mamta, Rajneesh, Vittal and Shriparna. Very good, yeah? B is the answer, 1 and 3. Again, if you feel like I'm adding anything to your knowledge base, you can like, share and subscribe. And that will give us more impetus. Let's talk about one more editorial. Page number 6, editorial. This is second editorial of the day. India needs to diversify its energy sources to keep trade deficit low. So now here we'll talk about this issue. And earlier also we have talked about balance of payment. Balance of payment, current account, capital account. Balance of payment, current account, capital account. Balance of payment is the trade which we are trade related to goods and services and so on and so forth, which we are doing with the rest of the world. Current account, capital account. So here, trade in goods and services happened. That is BOT. This whole trade in goods and services, that is balance of trade. Then you have services, trade in goods, balance of trade, everything, balance of payment. Services, income, transfer. You have to understand these words, they are important. In capital account, you have something known as FDI, then FII, then FCNR and other account, external commercial borrowings. So if let's say this whole current account is about export and import of goods and services and then income and transfer. And let's say we are having a deficit in current account. That means we are importing more, we are exporting less, but we need money. Country need money to function. Then they will do borrowing. Most of the borrowings come under this capital account, FDI, FII, ECB, FCNR, all these things. So keep it in mind, these words are actually important. Sir, I'm beginner, so I didn't answer any questions. No issues, bro. No issues. No. Cool. So please remember these words, we'll see this. So now this particular editorial is, okay, before we go to this editorial, let me tell you something more. So what we have discussed, BOP, balance of payment, this whole thing. And trade in goods and services, this is BOT, balance of trade. Cool. Understand, export and import of goods and services, it does not come under BOT, balance of trade. This is important. Cool. Services we know, IT sector and all, they will come under services. What is the difference between income and transfer? Let's say I am Shubham Sagar, and I prefer to be called Shubh. I am Shubh, I'm living in India. I have a property in US and I have rented that property to Tom Cruise, who is one of my smaller brothers. So Tom Cruise will be giving me rent every year. So this is my income. Or let's say I am Shubham Sagar, I went to US to work and I'm earning money there. But I'm a resident of India. I live in India. I'm just working there. I'm getting my salary. That will come under income. Transfer is what? Transfer is remittances. Let's say some nurses are Kerala nurses or our Malayali nurses. They are there in West Asia. They are sending some money back to their country. That is remittances. So these transfers are generally one way. And this income is your salary. What is your earning? You will understand all these things once we solve these questions. So yeah, 100 meter under the ground. Balance of payment. Wow, what explains. So thank you, Rishi. So now let's focus on this editorial. This editorial is saying that currently what has happened because of the instability which is there in West Asia, India is importing oil or crude or this energy requirement from Russia. And US is very much adamant that whoever will be importing oil from Russia, crude oil from Russia, they will be imposing tariff because Trump is a tariff man. And in that regard, this particular article has been written that we need to diversify our energy source because we cannot make US unhappy. Why? Because this export which we are talking about, exports of goods and goods, which is balance of trade, as well as exports of services. US is the biggest country, bro. US is the biggest country where we are doing maximum exports on goods and services. So India, Russia, all weather friendship is fine, but we cannot make US means angry. And that's why we have to diversify our energy resources. That's why we have to diversify. We cannot keep on taking oil from Russia. If US is unhappy about it, it can impact our trade and services. We have to think rationally from economic perspective. UIZ, you will understand slowly and gradually, don't worry, everything. Sir, I am from Andhra Pradesh, my language, I live in a village, I don't get English paper anywhere. Your videos are helping me a lot, thank you so much. Welcome Durga, these words help me so much. Cool. So now let's focus on this article. Is this editorial. So Q1 fiscal 26 merchandise trade deficit. Now these things will make sense to you. When we are talking about merchandise trade deficit, we are talking about this particular means thing, goods and services, and there. Now, again, if we go back, let me show you something. So balance of payment trade with rest of the world, how we are doing. In current account, capital account, India generally has current account deficit. This also we have discussed earlier in one of the previous Hindu analysis. And we have capital account surplus. Obviously, if our export and import is in negative, we need some money to offset that, and we get that money in the form of borrowing, FDI, FII, etc. So this is capital account surplus we have and current account deficit we have. Now here, even in this current account deficit, there are division. Goods and, like when we are talking about exports and import of goods and goods, so here we have negative, like here we are importing more, exporting less. Services we have always positive, we are bringing more and more money. Our IT sector is in demand worldwide. So here, this merchandise trade deficit, that's what you are reading. Our BOT, goods, export and import, we are in negative, we import more, export less. So trade deficit is there and it is widening up. You don't have to remember the numbers. The one thing which is very important from this exam perspective, like this editorial, or which is there in this editorial from exam perspective, is these BOP and their division. And we'll solve some question, you will understand. Our services is doing good, as we have discussed. In the good category, we are always doing negative because we want to import more. And that happens also. A developing country needs a lot of goods, We are developing. We are one of the fastest developing nation in the world. So we need goods and that's why we import more. That's totally fine. It will slow down slowly and gradually. Inshallah, one day, oh my God, our BOT will also be in positive. Services, we are doing awesome. Income, transfer, remittances, we get a lot of money from outside India because of Indian diaspora. So all these factors are very important. Very important, sir, have to revise. Cool. Now let's come back. So we are talking about our services, they are doing awesome. And because of that, the overall trade deficit is reducing. Services always do that. Continued dominance of petroleum export. So this is a very interesting thing which you have to understand. Petroleum, oils, etc. We don't have much, we import it generally. But what happens, let's say petroleum came from outside to our country, we refine it, we produce something else, naphthalene or diesel, anything like different byproducts of petroleum, that is refined petroleum, that we export. Petroleum, some of the petroleum we import, but like refined petroleum we export. So this is an interesting analogy. Just listen to me, you will understand slowly and gradually everything. Now, US President Donald Trump, Orange Man, Tariff Man, what he is saying is he will impose 100% secondary tariff on countries importing Russian crude, and India is importing Russian oil, crude oil. So India is now the largest importer of Russian crude, 36% of total oil import. So if you are importing 100 unit oil, 36 is coming from Russia. US is not liking it. We cannot say Trump is this and that. We have to take into consideration Trump's grievances, because if we don't, then our exports to US will be impacted, and US is India's largest export market when it comes to all export of goods and services. So all these things are very, very vanakkam. So again, India is now the largest importer of Russian crude, having overtaken China. So this is the component of BOP which we were talking about. Current account and capital account. Current account, exports and import of goods, it is known as BOT, balance of trade. Export and import of services is not in BOT, remember it. Unilateral transfer, like here when we are talking about transfers, we are talking about remittances, money which is transferred by Indian diaspora in India or to India, remittances and grants. So this is one way. Grant, you don't need to pay back. Remittances, somebody has sent to his family in India, that don't need to be paid back. Income, receipt and payments. I have one property in US, I will get some, monthly income on it. So those things will come here. Capital account, borrowing, FDI, FII, etc. So do remember this classification. That is actually important from every exam perspective. So need for diversification. As we have said, US is not happy with India importing so much oil from Russia. And this tariff threat, and they have given 100% tariff threat to us. So of course, India's need to diversify energy. Why India needs to diversify energy? Why we have to listen to Trump? It's not because we love Trump and his orange hair. No, 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 no. It is because of this particular region. US is India's largest export destination, contributing 17.7% of total export in the last fiscal year. China, we have a trade deficit. US, we have a trade surplus. Overall, we export more to US than we import, and we want to keep that going because lots of foreign exchange reserves come, and it helps us in so many ways. So if Trump is saying he will do something, we have to take it seriously because US is a big market for us. So please explain, how does remittance contribute to economy? Remittance contributes to economy. So India is one of the largest, top 10 countries who are getting remittances from outside. India is in the top 10 countries, I think top 3, top 4, you can check the number. So Indian diaspora, people who are living in US, US, Canada, Fiji, Suriname, Mauritius, they will send money to India. Obviously, when they will send money to India, our reserves and the people who will be living here in India, they can buy more goods and services. GDP will increase. That's how they contribute to our economy. Cool. So again, potential in MSMEs, MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, we have to look in, we have to take more steps to develop them according to this editorial because they are contributing a lot of India's goods export. So this is important. As Gandhi used to say, we should not be having production, mass production, rather than we should have production by masses. MSME is a good example of that, and MSME is doing good. Editorial is saying that we need to focus more on MSMEs. Cool. You are so informative with high level speed. While seeing your class, I came to know how much I need to learn. Thank you for inspiring me every day with your knowledge. Thanks a lot, sir. God bless you. Thank you, Kannan, yaar. So nice words. Sector showing growth, electronic goods, tea, meat, dairy, and poultry. Again, you can read these things. These numbers are not important. Hope you're understanding what are the things which we have to extract out of this editorial and why US threat matters to us, because US market is a big market for us. Successfully concluding trade talks with US is crucial for India's export. Tragic. Again, you can read these things. I'm not reading it. Let's solve some questions. MCQ 9. Which of the following is included in BOP but excluded from balance of trade? Chepandis. Oh my God. My mother is like, why do you keep saying these things? So I'm from Bihar, and mostly I go to Bengal now because my family, the most important members of family are there in Bengal. So they're like, Chepandi, Chepu, Suledu, why do you keep saying this to us? We don't understand any Telugu, I'm like, okay. So which of the following is included in BOP but excluded from BOT? So balance of trade, we have discussed balance of trade is all about export and imports of goods. So here, and they are saying that it is included in BOP, excluded in trade, excluded from BOT. That means we don't need anything related to good. So export of textile, it is a good thing. Crude oil, good. Export of machinery, good. Software services, it's services. So services is included in BOP but excluded from BOT. So the answer is C. Very good. Madhubala, Chanchal, Rajni, Shriparna, Rishi, Mamta, Liliana, Anandu and UIZ. Sir, but due to China tension, we are still dependent upon rare earth metals. So how can we attain economic sovereignty while maintaining integrity? It's very difficult, Vittal, because we are not only dependent on China for rare earth metals, we are also dependent on China for APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, which is the raw material needed for making so many drugs and medicines in India. So dependence upon China will not reduce in the immediate future, rather, it will take some amount of time. So that is not going to happen. And again, we are dependent, world is dependent upon China, so to say. It's not like only us are dependent upon them. World is dependent upon them. So that dependence will go slowly and gradually. As Bacha used to say, slowly, 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 slowly. MCQ 10. Slowly, slowly. Which of the following best differentiate income from transfer in current account? We have discussed balance of payment, current account, capital account, and there we have discussed in current account you have goods, you have services, you have income, you have transfer. What is the basic difference between income and transfer? Again, a tough question. Even if you don't know it, don't worry. But do revise balance of payment, do revise current account, capital account, balance of trade, all the points which we have discussed. Okay, let's focus. So what we have discussed, transfer is remittances, grants, all these are transfer. And if somebody is sending money to us, some of our family members sending money from outside, we don't need to pay it back. We don't do that in family, do we? Grants. Similarly, if you're getting grants from other country, we don't need to pay it back. So it's all one way. See, income involves asset ownership of work, transfers are one way. Income. When we're talking about income, what is income? I have one property in US, I'm getting some income out of it. I am Indian resident working in US or working in US company, I'm getting some income out of it. So all those are income. Asset ownership or work transfers are one way. Very good, Vitthal, Madhubala, Anandu, Rishi, Chanchal, Mamta, Shriparna. Very, you people are so good, just like a wow. Now let's talk about the next article of the day, which is there on page number 3. As we have, B is the answer, Shiparna. B is the answer. So Gujarat starts India's first tribal genome project. Anything first is very important, you know. Your first love, your first crush. So many first. So first tribal genome project. What is the aim of Gujarat government? Again, tribal people isolated. We have talked about PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So their isolation is very much important for their, continuation as a tribe, as a community. But sometimes isolation also do something when it comes to genetic diversity and genes. We in the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about Singhali people, from where they came. And there was an earlier assumption that they came from North India. The new genetic study have said that they have come from South India. Although they speak Indo-European languages, or their language is very similar to Indo-European, but they are from South India. So genome studies has different ramifications. And when you read about, like here, this tribal genome project is being done to understand the genes of tribal people, so that we can take care of these tribal people in a better way when it comes to health related aspects. If we are doing this genome, and this has not happened in any other state, for the first time Gujarat is doing it, and this is actually good to understand their unique genes, their unique attributes, and how we can use those data to take care of them in the health arena. That is the basic rationale here. Mukesh Shri. So, state level initiative. Gujarat has become the first state in India to launch a genome sequencing initiative. Again, you can see here specifically for tribal community. Announcement was made. Project name is Tribal Genome Sequencing Project. And what is the aim here? Identify genetic health risk with tribal population. There also we have discussed, when we are talking about Singhali people, from where they came from, North India or South India. So we have discussed there is Singhali people in Sri Lanka, there is Adivasi people in Sri Lanka. And compared to Singhali people, Adivasi people have lesser genetic diversity. Why? Because they practice endogamy. They generally marry among themselves rather than as compared to Singhalese, who may have married Tamilians. And you can understand where we are going with this. Same thing happens with tribal people anywhere. They are very cohesive unit. They will marry among themselves. So they have a very unique kind of genes. And there is not much diversity because they are not, marrying outside. I'm not saying that should happen now also. I'm just saying that's how they were, most of the tribal groups were. So they have unique genes and we have to study them, and that's what Gujarat government is doing to identify genetic health risk, enable precision healthcare tailored to these communities. Oh my God. Now, scale of the project, you can read all these things. So tell me your first crush, if you don't mind, to ensure the gene bank survival. I'm tribal from Karbi Anglong. Yeah, I love Assam, man. I was in Mahangagarh, Guwahati, and Silchar also. Always you tell this matter. Yeah. First crush. I am writing a book, novel, from last 11 years, and that is called as 9 Encounters with So-Called Love. That's not my book. That's a fictional book. So yeah, I love these things. Okay, let's focus. So scale of the project, genomes. First crush was in school. My Kandra friend. She used to come in a scooter with her father, and very cute looking girl. I always thought, why would she look at me? Then she started talking to me. So it was a good thing. Okay, let's focus, bros. So genomes of 2000 individuals, coverage, blah, 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 implementation agency, database creation, all these things are fine. Just remember which is the first state in India which is doing this tribal genome project. The issue or the objective is related to health. These are the things which are important. Rest everything can take a back window, or they can even give you here that the project is being carried out by this and that organization. So keep it in mind. But which is the first state and what is the main purpose? MCQ 11. Exactly, Shriparna, I can totally understand. Have kind of same initiatives for Parsi like GeoParsi. But GeoParsi I have heard, that's okay. That also genome sequencing is also involved here, Vittal. But that is not, I was also a child, bro. It was not like I was a bigger adult, and that's has nothing to do with pox. So it's all about, use, and that happened with anyone and everyone. So what is the primary objective of you people like UPSC aspirants? So you will bring any and every scheme anywhere and everywhere. This is so bad, Abhishek. Gupta ji. So what is the primary objective of Gujarat's tribal genome sequencing project? To enable precision healthcare through identification of genetic health risks, to identify archaeological origins of tribal population, to study the linguistic patterns of tribal groups, to create job opportunities in biotechnology for tribal youth. Oh my God. So Nitin, Swastika, Rishi, Shriparna, Liliana, Chanchal. Nah, I'm just kidding. So yes, the answer is to enable precision healthcare through identification of genetic health risk. Very good. MCQ 12. Consider the following statement. Balance of trade includes, this is from the previous article, both goods and services, balance of payment records, capital transfer and foreign investment flows. Parsi blood pure. Okay, cool. I know, Mamta, I can understand the feeling. So, sir and madam, while giving them health benefits and security. Cool. GeoParsi, there were other schemes also for other minority affairs, other minority communities. GeoParsi is one of those, schemes related to minority communities. At the time when GeoParsi was launched, Vittal, these kind of schemes were launched for other minorities also, including Muslim community. These all schemes came at the same time when GeoParsi came. In fact, GeoParsi came when I was attempting UPSC. So balance of trade includes both goods and services. So balance of trade does not, okay, you people have to answer it. So many of you have answered it. Awesome. Next question, MCQ 13. In the context of particle physics, what happens when a particle and its antiparticle collide? Particle physics. Chepandi is fast. Okay. So 12 and 13 question, you people have to answer it in the comment section. Take your own time, especially question number 12. 13 may be easy for you. Think about question number 12. If you know the answer of 12 and 13, post it in the comment section. I will discuss these two questions tomorrow. Question number 12 and 13, their answer I will share tomorrow. If you like the video or gain something out of it, listen to my best friend here. She is my best friend. Like, share and subscribe. I will share this particular PDF I have stated in the start in this Telegram channel of mine, Fun Study with Shubh. I think within 10-15 minutes from now. So you can join this Telegram channel, Telegram family of mine if you haven't. Thik and you can post your score. Like today we have done 13 questions, 12 are homework for you, which you have to answer it in the comment section. So out of 11, how many you got correct? And again, if you're preparing for 26, 27, 28 batch, any of the batch, you are facing any issue, you can join any of the batches. 26, 27, 28. Why do I say that? Because, you cannot waste your UPSC attempt. So Again, if you feel like your optional is done by January 2026, give 2026. If your optional will be done by January 27, give 2027 batch. 2027 batch admissions are closing on 31st July 2025. Same is happening for 28 batch also. Admissions are closing on 31st July 2025. On the other hand, 2026 batch admissions are closing on 20th July. Earlier it was closing on 15th. It has been extended by 5 days now. So it will be closing on 20th July. So if you're facing any issues, you can join any of these batches. Very good. If you have seen my previous videos, you know how to join these batches. If you haven't, this is the way. You can go to Google Play Store. You can download StudyIQ app, or you can go to, here, website studyiq.com. You can go downwards. You can go to UPSC English. Very good. And then, where is UPSC English? Yes, here UPSC English, and then view all courses, 26 course, 27 course, 28 course, based on whatever course you want to join, you can join it. And again, you will go to buy now. Before buy now, all the features. I can remember one thing. I keep on telling people, if you join our batch, any other batch, please trust that batch. Don't run after sources and just follow their material, test series, and everything which is included here. If you clear UPSC 26 prelims, 27 prelims, you will have full fee refund. All these things are there. And after you have seen the features and what features you need, you don't need, you will go to buy now. There are different variants of this course: diamond, platinum, gold. Diamond includes everything. Platinum and gold will include something, and the other things will be excluded. So based on what you need, you can buy any of these courses. Prices of each of these courses will decrease by 7,000 if you apply my code, that is SHS Live. So platinum, it has been applied, right? So platinum reduced from 29 to 22, diamond reduced from 34,999 to 27,999, gold will reduce from 16,999 to 9,999. And again, the features, you can see what you need, what you don't. For any query, you can call on this number 9240231070. If you're using my code for any course, you can ping me on Telegram or on my LinkedIn profile if you want privacy. That sir, I've used your code SHS Live to buy any course. I want to talk to you personally. Please talk to me. So we'll have a one-to-one interaction as well. Very good. Based on any query you have. ठीक है sir. So thank you so much, sir. One last question. You take UPSC coaching before you attend the UPSC exam? I did. I took some portion of it. Hey guys, is there anyone from the chemical engineering stream? Arigato, buddy. So again, take care. Be blessed. Tata, bye-bye. And you people can also collect your doubts. If you have any doubt related to anything, we can always take it at the